Hello, this is Chiak. We are back again with another set of Black Mirror 2 where we need to go have a look at the body. I'm still worried about what the stretcher is for unless it's supposed to be for us to hide in. I consider that possibility.
Ugh, not a pretty sight. Fuller's body's peppered with stab wounds. They've undressed him. I won't find any clues here.
You didn't even lift up
I'd
the...
rather not do that. Whoever it was, he must have been out of his mind. I'd rather not do that.
Okay, so I literally cannot look at the body then.
I'd rather not do
Okay, and right-clicking doesn't do anything. Does right-clicking do
There's a
anything with the
buyer,
stretcher?
just like the one out in the hall. I think it's for transporting the corpses.
Okay, I already looked at it. Okay, so that's literally all that we can do. So, we got ourselves, I believe, the key? Okay. I still got these breadcrumbs. I'm just carrying them in my pocket. I love it. Okay.
That's Fuller's keys. Keys for the store, his apartment, mailbox, automobile, and... That's interesting. That's no ordinary key. It's a small hexagonal brass stick. Looks almost like a winding up key for a clockwork toy.
Yes! Yes! This is what I need! Okay, okay. Actually, we'll just transport ourselves over there. Fast travel? Oh, yes. Okay, alright, we have to go through the basement. Okay, I need you, Darren, pick up the pace. Do your brisk walk. Oh yeah, did we ever find out his weight? I really hope. Oh, that's the wrong place. Sorry, my bad. This door. Alright, set of keys. Alright, we need to zoom in on the clock first. There we go. Then use the keys.
Let's see what happens when I turn the key. Okay. So I've wound up the clock. Now I'm pushing the key in. Oops, it clicked. It sounds like it adjusted something inside the clock. What the? What's this then? This box was hidden in the clock.
Okay, he grabbed it himself. Carden.
Come on, I just need a little tip for the damn combination.
Oh.
Huh. 4 negatives.
Okay. Oh, that's what the... We have the light box here, right? So I'm going to assume we use it for this. Since this light box is to look at negatives. Okay. I'm assuming... We... Oh, damn it. They can turn. I was wondering, like, can these... I don't know if it matters having these right side up or not. Okay. Okay, so I don't think it matters if things are right side up. Ooh. The one thing that's kind of throwing me off right now. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's that. Can I not? Okay, I guess this is in the way. Yeah, see, this is what I'm wondering. How far does this extend down or up? Yeah, the one thing that's thrown me off is that you have some of them that look like they're really far off away. So I just don't know. I mean, if I do everything is right side up. Okay, so maybe it doesn't matter. Because we don't need to have like it perfect like this, but it could just be... I think there's too many overlaps with this one. So I mean, that's a way to do it. Have them placed where they don't end up overlapping with each other. Maybe? I mean, this could be like that. This could be up here. There's this one up here as well. I'm way too lost on this one. Because this one has like... Right? Like, how far does this extend? See, I'm just assuming the numbers go like this. Like, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, something like that. Except for the part where... I mean, you have these ones where it's like super far apart on almost all 4 corners. This one that's kind of moved down here. But the problem is, if you pick this one up, if we either turn it this way or that way, then you have just one that's so far off on the side that almost does not make sense to me. Connect that doesn't really fit. So this one here throws me off because if it's a set of numbers, I do not know anything that could have 4 lines like that in a row. Maybe, no, 8 would just be 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm literally counting my head. Yeah, everything would be 3. So with this one, it clearly can't be like that. Okay. I do want... I need a clue with this one, because I'm really not sure how I'm supposed to do this one. There's just too many... Well, that's not true. It's not that there's too many options. So I just don't quite know how they're supposed to overlay, even if... I don't know if I can get hints about this one. I don't know, actually, does UHS Hint System have an entry for this? Black Mirror 2 UHS. So I found a guide, but oh, there is one for the UHS Hint System. It's gonna help out a lot. Okay, interesting. The first thing to do is go to the GFX section of the options menu and set the gamma slider all the way to the left. What? I don't know if the background's that blinding, but I'm curious.
I'm no wiser than before. I'll try it again later.
Options, here we go. Gamma all the way to the left? I don't know if, I mean, it doesn't seem that blinding, but that or it's just going to be a lot easier because, I mean, I am having a hard time. Yeah, okay. So it's just a slightly easier to see. Okay, so there's no really big hint. Problem is, like, if I put them on top of one another... That's something there. Two... Okay, so it might not be perfectly straight in line. I'm assuming there is going to be no deviations. Like they'll perfectly set up on top of one another. Okay, that's sort of something there. Well, it really doesn't match. Is that it? 2-9. That doesn't seem right. Again. Here go. 2482. There go. 2482. Is that close? It's just one of them was kind of off.
Hey, 2482. The rows produce digital figures when arranged in the right order. I'm certain that's the code for the secret door. The negatives were Fuller's emergency memory aid.
Emergency? I don't know. It's not really an emergency if it takes some while to figure out. That's it, just the act of doing it, maybe the muscle memory, he knows what it is. Now the issue right now I have is,
I don't think that'll do anything. I'm not heavy enough.
Okay. Why'd you zoom me in if I'm not heavy enough?
It's the weight. I have to put Fuller's exact weight on the scales. The code on its own isn't enough.
Okay, why'd you have to make that sound? Oh. You know what? I didn't take the scale from the hospital. Now am I going to be let back in? I'm assuming I still have the scale. The thing. I mean, I was about to say the thing, but the thing is the scale. Just the one from the mother's hospital. Can I take this now?
Alright then. I'll take that heavy thing with me.
Oh! It's like literally.
Hey!
Okay.
I've forgotten something else.
Thought you don't remember faces, dude.
I should first divert the security guy's attention. All the racket's gonna be quite suspicious.
Oh my god. No! What are you making me do? Latest task. To search the morgue, I need to stay undetected at the moment. There are too many eyes around. A distraction will be necessary. Okay, thanks. Not quite the distraction I was looking for. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? Tried to use the photo on the guy, but nothing doing. This guy, nothing. Okay, let's see if talking to the nurse will give me anything.
I don't want to stop her from doing a job. Right now.
Uh-huh, yeah. Okay. What else do we got? How else can we distract this guy? Because this is going to distract the nurse.
Better not.
Okay. You won't even let me do that.
I'm gonna keep this portrait of Angelina. She...
Okay. The laxative? Out of curiosity, am I using this on...
Not here. The security guy is sitting direct...
Okay.
I've drawn a little of the laxative into the syringe.
We are injecting the laxative, you say? How exactly are you proposing to do this? Yeah, I don't imagine it's gonna be her. Wait, oh, soda. Okay, so that's why we're putting the laxative into
A bottle of soda. Great.
Oh wow, it's a glass?
Nice. That's the laxative in the soda bottle.
Okay. Can the needle pierce the top of the soda bottle like that? Really don't know.
Hey boss, you want a soda?
What do you want for it?
Nothing.
You just gonna give me a soda as a friendly gesture?
Exactly.
That's very... nice. Perhaps you could do me another favor. Can you keep watch here for a minute? I'll be right back. Real quick.
I thought you couldn't leave your post.
It's an emergency. I'll be back in a minute. Wait here.
Okay, no problem.
The fast acting. I didn't even see him drink it. Did you drink it?
What was that about? Strange. Oh well, he's gone.
Oh no, or is he giving it to the nurse?
Alright. I can work out Fuller's and the buyer's weight together. That way...
Okay. I don't know how...
348 pounds. The only question is, how much of that is buyer and how much is Fuller?
Okay, 348. No worries. We got the buyer here.
Let's see.
Though I'm not quite sure how the scale works, because not all the weight is on top.
The baya weighs about 53 pounds. 348 for fuller with the baya, minus 53 for the baya makes 295 pounds. That's Fuller's weight, and that's what I gotta put on the scales. Perhaps a bit more. He wasn't wearing any clothes and had lost a lot of blood after all. I weigh nearly 198 pounds with clothes on, so I just need around another 99 pounds on the scale with me. I'm sure I can find something in the basement.
Don't move!
What the? Look, I didn't want to...
What are you doing? Trying to poison me, huh? That ain't gonna work on me.
Me? Poison you? What makes you think that...
No one has ever offered me a drink. And someone like you, of all people, bring me a soda.
Yeah, well, I thought you were thirsty.
Yeah, sure, junkie. You want to steal medication, huh? Or equipment to make some money, don't you?
That's crazy. I was...
The soda's poison, right? It's in the lab right now. And if it turns out you trying to poison me...
Yeah, well, poisoned...
You going to jail for this. You terrorist.
And you were missing your old boss and wanted to say goodbye to him.
Something like that.
Don't give me that crap. Breaking and entering? Larceny? We can lock you up for that.
Breaking and entering and larceny. According to the security guy, I'm a seriously dangerous terrorist.
He caught you snooping around, and that's bad enough. I understand that you want to help your girlfriend, but this kind of thing doesn't really help. When this gets out, and Dick's gonna make sure that everyone in town knows about his heroic act by tomorrow morning, then it's gonna look like you wanted to get rid of evidence, or something like that.
Can I go now?
Darren, I'm not against you, but keep your nose out of this. If we catch you snooping around again, you're gonna end up in the can, capiche?
Yeah, capiche.
Now get out of here. I've got to reassure Dick and make it clear to him the boy's harmless.
And I'm gonna continue where I left off, at Fuller's secret door.
Okay then. Wait. Sorry, exit? Exit's this way. Exit's over there. Okay. Man. So, I was about to say, how does he weigh... I mean, I really don't know men's weight, but... 198? I mean, either he has a lot... I mean, I don't know. Do you have that much muscle, Darren?
Okay, I'm missing about 90 pounds of additional weight. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, you're not gonna make me search stuff. We're just gonna do this ourselves.
Along with my weight, another few pounds ought to do it. I reckon that'll be exactly enough.
Okay.
Might work now.
Shoot. 2, 8, 4, 2? 2, 4, 8, 2? Okay. I couldn't remember.
That's it! At last. Now that the door's open, I'll get this junk out of the way. Somewhere there's gotta be... Ah, here. Oh my God. That bastard.
I'm sorry, what am I looking at here? What am I looking at here? Oh no, anesthetic. Oh no, that's... No.
The metal locker looks very old. Perhaps it's from a school or a sports club. cupboard's locked. But there's no padlock and no combination lock on the door. There's gotta be some other kind of mechanism.
Okay.
A camera tripod. An older model than the one up in the shop, but it's got the same mounting system. It's for Fuller's camera. He recorded it. The pig got it all on video. This way he got his kicks from it all a bit longer. And he had evidence. There's no tape in the camera.
Okay. What else am I looking at? There's a curtain, not yet.
Like in a torture chamber, or something like that. Lots of little bottles of knockout drops. That's... oh, God. I picked them up. Oh, Fuller's package, it clinked.
Okay. So everything else, I don't know, it could just be one weird fantasy scene. The knockout drugs just becomes a bit more questionable.
The bed's got a metal frame and a worn mattress. It's stained and moldy. No sheet, no pillow, just this grubby blanket. I don't want to know what went on here. I'm just afraid that I already do.
Okay. Oh, we still more comments on that.
I don't want to have
instead?
anything to do with that. What would have happened if he still had some of that stuff when Angelina was here? Did he call her, perhaps? Did he want to lure her here and she might have defended herself but then it'd be self-defense. Angelina would have told the police that. Come on, stay concentrated. Angelina had nothing to do with it.
Oh, so stabbing a person multiple, and it sounds like when they say multiple times, I think the self-defense might...
Weird. That curtain looks like Fuller stole it from his mother. Old-fashioned, but in better shape than everything else here.
Okay, what's behind the curtain?
What have we got here? A metal plate has been built into the wall. In the middle of the plate is a hexagonal recess.
Again, the hexagonal thing. Eh, wait. We don't have the... Never mind, we don't have the key anymore.
A metal plate has been built into the wall.
Hexagonal... Oh, wait. I didn't see this.
There are these shiny golden balls on the bedposts. That must be brass.
Okay, so this is probably for the metal plate?
Wow,
That's right.
that really works. The ball simply plugged into the tube of the bedpost. A brass ball.
There we go.
A hexagonal metal bar fastened on the underside. Looks like it's welded on.
Alright, let's use this. I'm assuming
Something's happened.
now we can open the cupboard. Listen, as long as not there's a person...
It's
Good.
open, but I can't
No
get
people
excited
inside.
about it. I don't want to see what's on these photos. Oh, there's only Mrs. Biber in these pictures, but there could be other pictures of other women, and therefore lots of people with a motive. That, along with the blackmail letter, should easily convince the police. Fuller was a blackmailer, and worse, there must have been dozens of people who wanted him dead. Dozens of people with a motive, unlike Angelina. I'll get her out of jail with this.
Okay, that's it. Am I going to find the police outside here once I walk out? No? Okay. Do I find the police once I get up from the, the basement window? Everything's good so far. It's not teleporting me out, though. That's not really... That doesn't mean anything, really. Okay, so I guess I'm just heading to the police station with the evidence I've found.
That's really interesting.
It's repulsive. And a damn good motive, right?
Indeed. But it doesn't mean that the Bibus have anything to do with the murder.
Of course not. Look, I guess your people would find even more in Fuller's secret room. Then you'll have plenty of suspects, all with good motives.
I've already sent some people over there. But all of this doesn't prove that it wasn't Miss Morgan.
But she had no motive.
Yes, she did.
That's him. That's the guy that followed me.
Nice that you came, Mr.
Reginald Boris is my name, Captain. I'm a private detective from England. I'm sure I can contribute a few things that will clear up this case quite considerably.
That's what we like to hear. We have a few questions for you as it happens.
For example, why you lured Angelina into a trap?
Mr. Michaels.
The important question is surely why? Why did Miss Morgan murder the photographer Fuller? Well, quite simple. She was also photographed by him. As you can see, not quite as revealing as the others, but I haven't got all of the photos. I'm sure your people will find other pictures that put it beyond all doubt.
What the... those are mine! I shot those pictures of Angelina yesterday afternoon!
All right, calm down. What's going on here?
You'd better ask him. He must have stolen these pictures from Angelina's hotel room. These pictures have got nothing to do with it.
It's the same photo paper as the other ones.
And I got them from Fuller. He said he had lots more.
Oh, man. Lies!
Well, we'll see about that. Darren, go and get some fresh air. Calm yourself down. Mr. Boris, come with me, please. There are a few things we need to discuss.
Why, certainly.
And Angelina?
She stays where she is until we've cleared up this mess.
But you...
We'll get in touch when we need your help. Good day.
Okay, why aren't they questioning him? Because they need both sides of the story, but there's like, yeah, just go get some fresh air.
This can't be for real.
You know, I believe you. You were right about Fuller, and there's something not quite right with this Detective Boris.
Then go in there, arrest him, and release Miss Morgan already.
It's not that simple. But it'll all become clear. In a few days, everything will be cleared up. Until then, you should just wait. And go visit your mother.
Wait a few days? And give this asshole time to get new evidence? Yeah, right. Next thing you know, he'll frame her for the Kennedy assassination. I'm gonna find out what game he's playing.
Good. But be careful. The end doesn't justify the means. You've already broken into Fuller's house. If you get caught doing something like that, you'll get it for real.
Then you'd better stay away from me.
So if they're getting all their evidence from different people and the police themselves
He
haven't...
can only have gotten the pictures from Angelina's hotel room. I should have a look around there, regardless of what the police think.
Like, how admissible is this evidence? That's what I'm wondering, because... like, the police themselves haven't gathered any of this stuff. So, I really don't know how it could be... how they could use it, essentially. Because... I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know, like, I don't know enough about police procedure to know, but it's just like, where, in the, like, real life court case, how is that, how does that work? there's evidence, but it's not. It's collected by the third party, or in this place, possible suspects. Because I feel like there's... Oh man, there are so many issues with that. There's definitely going to be... I don't know, it just seems really questionable. I feel like if a lawyer sees that, they could... Okay, so what do you say? He said going to the hotel, I believe? I'm surprised though that the police didn't, like, ask him to wait at the station so they can question him. Because at this point, I don't see why Darren wouldn't. He's already been caught for breaking and entering into the hospital, so I don't see why he wouldn't just state...
Get lost, you damn critters! Get off my veranda!
The seagulls seem to like the veranda just as much as the hotel owner does.
Dead. Oh, I thought that... Okay, I thought that was Darren going inside. Is this still...
The mast is a copy of a flag. You often get stormy... Nothing to find.
Okay. Sorry, I'm wondering why in the world that the option's available again. Yeah, but I feel like kind of weird. Police should be questioning Darren as well, and I feel like Darren would fess up to... I mean, hell, he has... They could just
Like
check
the whole hotel.
his mom's house.
Very well. I'm guessing somebody...
And see
Like the
all
whole- I'm
the...
guessing somebody-
his developing
I'm
studio.
guessing somebody...
Oh, I just realized I still have everything at a super low. Everything is super dark. There we go. I was wondering, like, why is everything so dark? My bad. Well, that definitely gave the basement area a different look. Hopefully I fix that in post.
Yes, please?
Why the seagull's an option? Here, we'll start off easy, and then we'll go into the real meat of the conversation.
The weather isn't going to be suiting to your guests.
Oh, yeah, well, there's not much going on anyway. The change in the weather was already announced. And to be honest, right now I'm quite happy there's not so many guests in the hotel. You know why? With the incident.
You got a seagull problem here?
I wouldn't call it that. They kind of come with the coast. It's just, it would be nice if they kept away. In my opinion, they ought to be out on the ocean or on rocks on the coast, but not on my veranda. They've lost their fear of humans, and the hotel guests are always feeding them, especially with bits of fish. And then at some point the guests leave, and I'm left with a flock of seagulls on my veranda. They wreck the cushions, and oh, well.
They crap on your tables?
Well, I wouldn't have put it like that myself, but yes.
That's exactly like they shit everywhere, right? I know, I understand how these birds work.
What do you reckon? Who do you think murdered Fuller?
Well, the cops already have a suspect.
That's crazy. It wasn't her.
I hope so, too. And I also hope they keep it quiet about where she was staying.
And that's all you're worried about?
Now listen here. My whole family's welfare depends on this hotel. You know what my daughter's tuition fees in Switzerland cost?
There's an innocent girl sitting in jail. That interests me more than your daughter's college fees.
Oh, forgive me, you're right. But if Miss Morgan is innocent, which is what we all assume, then the truth will soon come to light.
Oh, I'll bring it to light, all right. Whatever it costs. Do you know that Angelina's been arrested?
I can't tell you anything about that.
But you do know.
Look, Darren, this is a family hotel.
I understand. Can I have a quick look around in Miss Morgan's room?
Absolutely not.
Even if I were to let something slip out to the press?
I'm not going to be blackmailed. And anyway, the newspaper belongs to my brother-in-law.
Nice for you.
Okay. Is there more than one hotel in this area? I would assume that this hotel was the only hotel, but okay then.
I saw the card and the flowers that you sent my mother.
Oh, well, that was a given. As I hear it, isn't she any better?
Seems there's not much kept private round here.
Well, my wife is a friend of the doctor's wife. After all, one worries about people, doesn't he?
Would you let me know then when my mother's condition starts to improve?
Sorry?
Was this guy here again yesterday?
You mean the one who was asking about Miss Morgan? Yes, I saw him the one time through the window. He was headed towards town.
Where was he coming from?
I can't tell you exactly. Somewhere from around the beach, I'd say.
Well, can you keep your eyes peeled? I believe he's caught up in all this.
In the murder?
For sure. He was following Miss Morgan, and now he's framed her for the murder.
What are things coming to? What kind of folks are running around in our lovely little Biddeford these days?
Have the cops sealed off Miss Morgan's room?
They were here first thing this morning. Got me out of bed, they did. I was worried that they'd pull the whole room apart. Took a whole lot of photos and fingerprints. You know, like in a movie.
But they didn't.
The captain had a look around the room, made a few notes, and told me that nothing should be touched. But after 10 minutes, he was off again, without taking anything with him.
So are they coming back again?
I don't know. I didn't get the feeling that the captain was looking for anything in particular. He just wanted to take a look around.
So there could definitely still be clues hidden in the room. I need to be able to get a look around in there. And I'll be a lot more thorough than the captain.
Yeah, I was wondering, like 10 minutes does not sound like a lot of time. Okay, so...
There are a few magazines lying around here. A private sign hangs on the door. The owner and his family live in this building. Behind the door is either their living quarters or an office.
Okay, that should be it. Again, the plant?
There's nothing in the pot apart. There are pictures of...
I'm assuming... Want to see if he lets us up or not.
Where are you going?
There we go. Thought so.
I was on my way to Miss Morgan's room. She gave me permission.
That might be the case, but the room has been, well, sealed off by the police. You know, the incident? I can't let you go up there.
But it's very urgent.
Maybe so, but that's a police order, and I'll be in serious trouble if I don't follow it. This is a family hotel, and I've been instructed that the police will operate discreetly. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, I'm assuming this is where the window
I don't
comes
really
in.
like to climb into other people's houses. Well, not without a good reason.
What? To the beach, then? Oh, I know. Breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs. Wait. No. Darren, you don't need to talk about it.
Like though, I'm guessing somebody's left...
Breadcrumbs. Okay, flock of seagulls. What? Darren just booked it. Okay, so the minute he comes out to shoo away the seagulls.
Well,
What's your exit plan, though?
Well, I can go up the stairs, but without the room key, all I can do is get a... Got it. The key for room number 5.
Okay, shh. Just get up there. Ventilation.
There should be a pipe behind the ventilator grill which leads outside. There won't be any AC in this building. But there's probably a fan in the pipe which draws in the fresh air. She only drank non-alcoholic drinks in the diner yesterday. Angelina is about as good with alcohol as I am.
Okay. Small table.
Nice work. There were skilled craftsmen across the whole region all those years back. They brought all their experience and designs from Europe and supplied the whole of the States from here.
Okay, not quite sure
This
why.
isn't exactly my taste, and I can't find anything to help me any further.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, what does this have to do with your thorough investigation?
What's this then?
What are you doing, Darren? What?
I don't believe it. A microphone. A listening device. The bastards bugged Angelina. There's no cable on it. It must have a little transmitter, but such a tiny transmitter can't have much of a range. Huh. That means there has to be an amplifier or a more powerful transmitter around here.
Okay. Again, the fact that you, like, took the object.
A ventilation shaft could be a good hiding place for a radio set. I bet the hole leads right up to the roof.
Okay. It's the only other option, if I recall.
I knew it.
And the
A
walkie-talkie.
radio set. The bug only needs to transmit a few yards, and then this powerful set amplifies the signal and sends it on to wherever. Apart from that, there's nothing else.
Okay. Apparently our thorough look around was not that thorough, but we did find the objects that we needed to find.
Where have you come from? What do you think you're doing?
You
Can't just march through the rooms. This is a discreet, familial hotel. Where is the key for room 5? Miss Morgan's room. You've got it. Give it here. Immediately. Don't let the police hear about this, for heaven's sake. And now get out! I never want to see you here again!
See, this is what I was saying, Darren. Exit strategy.
If you just...
Out!
Man, was he upset or what? Doesn't matter. I've got everything I wanted and I don't need to go back into the hotel again.
Yay. I mean, you can't be that surprised. So... Okay, we got the listening device. I don't know. Again, the fact that you take it off of the lamp and stuff like that, you take it from where it was found. So there's nothing to say that you just didn't get it from the junk shop and then present it as evidence as well. Okay, everyone's just sitting around. Let's talk to the policewoman first.
Fuller's basement has already been searched?
Yes, it was, really incriminating.
You weren't there?
The captain said I ought to stay at my post here.
He didn't want to have you there, in other words.
Kinda looks that way.
You don't give the impression of being the, faint-hearted type.
And I'm not. But from time to time, the old macho management style comes through, I think.
I was down there. You wouldn't have wanted to see it.
I would rather like to have decided that for myself.
Has Mrs. Biber already been questioned?
Yes, The chief interrogated her and her husband individually.
And?
Ask the chief.
How is Angelina?
Not so good. She pretty well flipped out when we took her back to the cells.
Can you blame her?
Right now, I don't know what I should think. I don't quite get it either.
I hope you do something about it.
Listen, we're on it. We're all working on just this one single case.
Yeah, well, there weren't too many other murders yesterday, were there?
I'm kind of curious. What about the
I have
the guy?
nothing to say to her.
It's like where, cause it. What did Angelina say about her parents? Cause I'm surprised the lawyer hasn't showed up yet.
You questioned Mrs. Bibo, right? Did you get any more info?
That's highly confidential. I can't tell you anything about it.
Any new findings that exonerate Angelina?
Unfortunately, not. Mr. and Mrs. Bibo were at home and didn't see or hear anything.
Did Mrs. Biba admit that she was being blackmailed?
That's going too far, Darren. The interrogation findings are not supposed to be public.
Darren doesn't care. Darren just like needs to know that his recently found girl is going to be pulled through.
Fuller had a skeleton in his closet. Did you know that?
I wouldn't be surprised. You got any details?
I think he blackmailed people.
Really? That's a serious allegation.
I've got no evidence, but I'm gonna get some.
Don't do anything foolish. You'd be better off not getting in the way of my investigations.
I won't. I'll search in the right places.
Right. I'm assuming this conversation point was before I broke into the basement. I don't know. I mean, they know. No, they know that he found the basement. And it can only be afterwards.
You really believe Angelina murdered Fuller?
It hasn't got much to do with believe. We walked in on her standing over the victim, covered in blood with the murder weapon in her hand.
Why were you there anyway?
You mean in the middle of the night? Well, we got a tip-off.
One? And that's not suspicious?
Yes. That's the reason why I want to find your mysterious stranger.
Do you think he made the tip-off?
Possibly. It was an anonymous caller who said something about a break-in at Fuller's. If the stranger had really been following Miss Morgan, he might have seen her entering the photo store and then notified us.
Or he set a trap for her.
Yeah, well, we can only speculate until we found the witness.
Do you know that my mother almost died yesterday?
No. I didn't know that. What happened?
She tripped and cracked her head open.
Oh. I'm really sorry about that. Tell her from me to get well soon.
Don't you find it even a bit strange that this Brit appears out of nowhere and the next day we got a corpse and a serious injury?
Are you suggesting that her accident wasn't an accident?
I don't know.
I don't think we should start hunting around for possible crimes, Darren. We've got a very real crime to solve here.
I was going to say, it's like this conversation point seems a bit awkward and weird to place, and then it leads into this, and then leads into that. I'm like, okay, that's why.
Do you still believe the guy is clean?
No, I don't believe he is. You were right, Darren. He's got something to do with this.
And yet you still let him go?
Well, I had no choice. He answered my questions. I couldn't prove his involvement. But we'll know more soon, once we've searched the basement and spoken to Mrs. Biba.
Okay.
So tell me, what came out of the inspection of Fuller's basement?
I'm not allowed to tell you any details. But between you and me, there's a lot of people with good reason to cut Fuller up. It's perverse, what he did in his basement.
But that's not enough for you to release Angelina.
The whole thing stinks. But I don't know what role Miss Morgan had to play in it. As long as that's unclear, we've got to keep her locked up. She was the one we caught with the knife in her hand.
But she...
I promise you we won't focus so much on her this time. We'll investigate all the possibilities.
What
You've
about...
helped us, and I won't ask you where you got the information that's put us on the right track. But you've got to keep out of this now. If Angelina isn't the murderer, then the murderer is still at large, and that could be dangerous for you.
Oh. Okay. But I'm just like, what about the blood splatter on the clothes? Because, yes, she had blood on her, but then the pattern of the blood, wouldn't that tell a story in and of itself? Okay, either way, let's get... He tells us not to get involved. Too late, we got this. Hi, here you go. No? What about this? Okay, what about the photo of Angelina? I have a copy. Okay. Do I maybe give it to her? But what do you want me to do with this? Here, proof that I've made the photos. Ah, fine. What? Okay, hold on. What am I supposed to be doing with this? More about the radio. Oh. Ah, we're supposed to go... Okay, so I know what we need to do. We need to head to Eddie, our new best friend, and probably his only friend in town, Eddie, to ask about the radio, because he would know about radios, but I am going to end the set here. So, thank you for liking if you like, thank you for commenting if you commented, thank you for subscribing if you subscribed, thank you for favoriting if you favorited. Thank you for simply clicking on this video. Until next time, guys, see ya!